Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me to address this conference. As you can see, I'm not available there at the present because of the fact that my leg was operated and I still have concrete obstacles for my personal mobility at the moment. So even though I cannot enjoy in the real life, I wanted to be with you today because of the fact that the modern technology can bring us together, and that is a very good example about today's mobility. Well, let me get started with the fact of the globalization. I think it is really, really important that international activities, foreign cultures are present all the time, everywhere and in everybody's life. Globalization is present in the everyday school life, working life, in grocery stores and in the leisure time. We cannot choose whether we want to be expose ourselves to international activities or not. The topic for today is competence. To run a successful life, we need new competencies that we didn't need earlier. Time is changing. Our lives are changing in the way that when we were still living in the mainly domestic economy, in an agrarian or industrial society, life was very different. Today, we need a lot more new skills, which we did not need in good old days. And these new skills are very relevant in today's world. And I'm very happy that Simo chose to pick up such a topic for this conference. Hidden competencies are telling that Simo, and we all know how the internationalization will be in the future, but what it is already today. I think it is important that we are building modern, open-minded society and definitely international society. And it is fair to acknowledge that even during the time when overall European budget was decreasing, more funds were invested in the European cooperation in the area of education, training and youth. In particular, a new Erasmus Plus program. So how easy it is to criticize Brussels so many times and tell, even blame the decisions made in EU. But in fact, we should remind our citizens a lot more often that it is quite a credit, definitely quite a credit to say that we are investing and making a strong investment to our people by the funds we have granted. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me say something about Finnish history related to EU programs. We started to participate in EU programs EC programs during those days. And those days were already in the early 1990s. Well, this means that it's already 25 years history which we are talking about now. So what have happened in 25 years? Well, during the first few years, only around 600 Finnish students, university students, went abroad through Erasmus program, and about 200 foreign students came to Finland. No wonder that the biggest worries what we had was the worry that how about if no one wants to come to Finland to study? How about if there is no one who wants to have a training here? Because we are known as a remote, cold and ice-covered country. Those were the worries what we had in the early 90s. I'm very happy to say that those worries were not really worries anymore later. So we saw that Finland was attractive option, and all foreign students really thought that Finland can be one of the countries which is attracting them. So since early 1990s, close to 100,000 Finnish university students and staff members have been have been very, very actively going around in the world through Erasmus program. Vocational education and training Leonardo program has mobilized over 25,000 Finns. So we've been gaining a lot. So many Finns have had excellent opportunities because of EU programs. So history is showing that it has been a great opportunities which we have provided to Finns, but also other citizens because they have had opportunity to visit us. And EU programs have offered possibilities not only for youth but also for adults, and also for those citizens which are beyond European Union borders. Let me give you another impressive figure. Think about that over the past 7 years, SIMO has offered training and networking opportunities for more than 7,000 youth workers in Europe or in the neighboring countries to EU. So in short, programs, whatever these really, really precious programs are, if it is Erasmus, Leonardo, Comenius, Grundtvig, Youth in Action, they have become symbols for international cooperation and mobility. And I'm personally one of those young people, not anymore so much, but I had a possibility to gain a lot of opportunities because of these programs. When I was a volunteer in one of the big volunteer organizations, we had a possibility to gain because of the program called Youth in Action many years time. And I'm very happy also, because of the fact that I've been teacher, to say that Comenius have been one of the great programs which we have enjoyed so far. Even though I ever had a possibility to become an Erasmus student abroad, I still have a lot of my friends who have had possibilities because of this program. So just to give you some examples, there are so many people who have gained a lot of extra value for their lives because of these EU programs. And it is fair to say that over these 25 years, international cooperation and mobility has become a mainstream activity in Finnish education as well as in the Finnish youth work. Today, 1 out of 4 of Finnish university students take part in mobility programs. For polytechnics, the figure is 1 out of 7. And when EU programs started in the international mobility in vocational institutions was close to 0. Now 1 of 8 students leave for a study or working life period abroad. I think this is really great. And I'm very happy that Finland is having such a high figures, because according to my knowledge, I think we have one of the highest, if not even highest figures in Europe. Even though I've given you many impressive numbers related to mobility, it is important to acknowledge that to have an international experience does not always mean traveling abroad. So internationalization or being international does not mean that you have to pack your suitcase. Well, the new concept of internationalization at home is a lot discussed lately. I definitely believe that you can learn new skills wherever you are. If you are in contact with the people from different cultural background, if you give an opportunity to yourself through the new media, which brings the outside world to our home screens. So through internationalization at home, you can involve virtually everybody. So this is just a question that if we can challenge everybody to be part of virtually linked world. And in this sense, internationalization is a matter of the attitude rather than traveling issue. Matter of the attitude. And it is good to say that international mobility and the cooperation should not be regarded as a separate society. They should rather be seen as an integral part of the content and quality of our education and training systems, or crucial part of a natural activities in the youth sector. And therefore I think all this discussion is related to education policies, because in fact we are at the moment renewing our curriculums, and if the core curriculums for primary schools are renewed. I think the big challenging question is that are we ready to promote global skills and multiculturalism, which I think are crucial values in today's world. They are crucial in that sort of sense that young people can invest for themselves so much that they have possibilities to cope in the multicultural world. So, in fact, these issues are underlined more than ever before, and they are underlined also in renewing our curriculums. And I think that is a sort of a proof that we take seriously all the possibilities of the internationalization. So, dear friends of Erasmus+, I'm very happy that all of you are here today, wherever you came from. I think it is nice to see that we all want to join to this conference together to launch a new Erasmus+ program. And I'm very happy to highlight some of the thoughts I have related to new program. Well, I think that it is really important that this new program is challenging us to see that we need more cooperation. There is a lot of potential for cooperation between different levels of education and training, as well as youth sector. We warmly welcome sports to be part of the Erasmus Plus family. The role of sports in the Erasmus Plus program is still quite small, but I think we all have high expectations in that field. So I think it will have a positive impact on the grassroots level activities when we develop more wider cooperation in the EU countries. But I'm also pleased that the new program includes and strengthens cooperation with non-EU member countries. There is a huge world outside of EU countries, and we should not forget that. It would be really great to give opportunities for our kids and youngsters to see that world, experience that. So we should encourage our people to meet it. And I think these possibilities can be accomplished by the youth program. And therefore it is important that we are taking seriously EU neighboring countries' possibilities, all the possibilities these countries can give as an experience to our kids. Well, as a politician, I'm also very pleased that the new program is more linked in polities and politics. It is actually seeking to have a greater impact, not only on individuals, but also institutions and organizations. So it is seeking to have impact on system level. And I think it is important we should remember that behind the big picture, there is always individual activities and actions. And it is important to monitor and evaluate the impact of our actions, because in fact it is the obligation, because we should bear in our minds that we are using a public money. So therefore it is important to also see how these impacts are coming out. Well, with these words, I wish you all an interesting day. Have a great discussions there. And I'm so unhappy that I cannot be part of your conference today, because I think it would give me also great opportunity to see how important the work of yours is. And I think I also would like to say in the end of my speech that I'm very happy and I'm proudly presenting our CIMO there too, because CIMO is doing a really excellent work. They are giving out so great opportunities by the Erasmus Plus here in Finland, and we have a great cooperation between Ministry and CIMO together, and their excellent work is promoting internationalization of Finnish society so much and with a really long term, that I'm very proud of their work. And I believe that also all you guys there, you are doing a great work to make EU even smaller in the small people scale. And with these words, I wish you all interesting discussions today, warm memories and interesting thoughts to bring back home. Have a good day.